Hi guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Neil and today we're going to talk about the new Jackson SL3 American Series. So a few days ago now there was a video that went up on all Jackson pages, all Jackson social media, and it was blacked out. You know, you could see this guy playing this guitar, you could hear it, it sounded awesome, it was a real heavy track, but you couldn't see the guitar or make out what it was apart from the shape, which you could tell, you know, that it was a new Soloist or a new Dinky. This got me really excited, and at the end of the video it said across the screen fast as instantly. I thought, wow, I wonder what Jackson have done to the Soloist or the Dinky. I wonder what changes they've made to make this guitar like lightning. So I kept my eyes peeled, and I think it was the next day, the day after, something like that, Jackson put the full video up where you could see this guitar in all its colour scheme and everything, and it was clear to see that it was an SL3. Obviously being called American Series, it's going to be made in America. The first thing you guys want to know is what the hell is the price? I want an American Jackson, what is the price of these things? And in the UK here they're about £2,400, £2,500 at the moment. These guitars come in an array of colours. One is white, one is gloss black, one is slime green, which I believe is satin, and the other one is blue. For me personally, I'd go for the gloss black probably, or the slime green. Because the slime green is in a satin finish, that suits me a bit better. I like the back of my neck to be satin, you know, I like it to have a satin feel to it. I don't like that sticky gloss thing going on, so I would probably lean towards that. And also, you guys know what I'm like when it comes to bright coloured guitars. So let's talk about exactly what the American Series is. The American Series is to appeal to all those guys out there, those old school Jackson guys that believe that Jacksons should be made in America, belong in America, and those are the only real Jacksons that exist. This is quite a large group of people. You'll see them on forums, you'll see them everywhere. There's a few other guys that say that they love the Japanese Jacksons, and the Japanese Jacksons were the best Jacksons ever. So last year Jackson started bringing out the Japanese models again, or should I say some new Japanese models, but this year they've decided to hit that American fan base they have out there and give them an American Series. These guitars are made in California, and we're going to look at the specs of this guitar. I'm going to start off by saying, first of all, something that appealed to me instantly when I saw the specs, and I couldn't believe it because I made a video about a year ago about this. Basically, there is now locking tuners on the SL3 American Series guitars, and this is like a godsend to me, and all you Floyd guys out there probably feel the same. You know, I made a video about this, and I don't understand it, how all the fixed bridge guys are blessed nowadays in 2022 with these amazing locking tuners, but us guys with the Floyd Rose, who have a bit more of a pain in the arse when we're changing strings, we still have to string wind, you know. I got fed up with it, you know, and I started putting my ball end of the string into the tune, you know, the machine head, the tuning peg, and I just thread it down, snip the end off, stick that in, and wind it that way. I found that easy, and I just got fed up because really I wanted locking tuners. At one point I was even going to put locking tuners, go out and buy tons of locking tuners and fit them to all my Jackson guitars. Finally now, thanks to the American Series and thanks to Jackson guitars, we have locking tuners on a guitar with a Floyd Rose on. Hopefully this will change the way that we think and the way that all the brands think about locking tuners, you know, because in my opinion in 2022, why are we still winding strings when locking tuners exist? You know, if I want to contact my friend, I send him a text message, WhatsApp, Facebook, whatever. I don't write him a letter and send it in the post. For me, what is the point of winding a string, you know, threading it down, making sure you've got the right space that you need to allow for the winding, all of that business? What is the point of doing that if you can just put it in a locking tuner, clamp it, and you can just turn it like this much, and you're probably not far off being in the tuning where you want to be in? It makes perfect sense to me. I don't know about you guys, but locking tuners are the future. I just hope it changes everything, you know, across the board. The other thing which I really like about the new SL3 American Series is that the Floyd Rose is a 1500 model. Obviously it includes stainless steel parts. It's a step up from the 1000 series for sure. It's going to stand the test of time. Not that I have any trouble with any of my Floyds on guitars, because I don't. I get my guitars, or at least most of my guitars, set up by Jackson, I believe that that is why I don't have any trouble when they arrive. You know, they just kind of work and I don't have any issues with them, even if it's a Floyd Rose special. Obviously the Jackson branded trems are a hell of a lot, you know, what you get on the JS series and just some of the X series. Those trems feel okay at first, but it doesn't take long before they start to not live up to the test of time. You know, they don't live long enough because they're not made of the quality materials like an original Floyd Rose. The new SL3 has stainless steel parts on there, and for any of you guys that have ever used stainless steel screws or a stainless steel bridge, you will know the difference. You know, it's more solid, it just feels smoother, the screws feel smoother going in and out, you know, they don't kind of get rounded off or anything like that. You can't feel when you're turning the Allen key, you know, any notching or stiff parts, you know, they just go in like they should. And that's a big difference, and for a guitar that is £2,400, £2,500, obviously, you know, you would think that it would include a real quality bridge on there. The next thing I noticed about this guitar is that, like most Jacksons that you see now, Dinkies and Soloists, they're starting to use the Seymour Duncan JB a hell of a lot more. The JB is a great pickup, very chimey, and it does everything. It suits the soloist really well because it does absolutely every style of music you could possibly think of. The heaviest of metal that's super low tuned, I don't think the JB handles very well. Once you get below C, drop C, I think things start to get a bit flubby. But everything above there, it's absolutely fantastic for, especially E standard. It sounds absolutely amazing. It screams for E standard drop D. There are two single coil pickups on there, which I find really weird. I mean, Jackson is aiming for the metal market, obviously. That's who buys Jackson guitars. They are metal guitarists, usually. And I don't know any metal guitarists that use single coils that much at all. I don't. I like two humbuckers. I would prefer two humbuckers or one humbucker in that guitar. For me, the single coils, I do like them when I'm just jamming around, messing about, maybe clean, usually for clean things, which I don't do very often being a metal guitarist. But usually that's what I'd use a single coil and a neck for. You know, I find it's strange that they're on there. Also, when I pick, because I have a bit of an elaborate picking hand, it moves a lot. It's quite tight, is my right hand. In fact, it's better than my left by an absolute mile. But I sometimes catch that middle pickup, especially if it's a single coil, obviously, which it would be usually. I catch it a lot with my finger when I take a big swipe at the string. And for me, I'd lower that pickup or just wouldn't need it and have two humbuckers, like I say. But Jackson do their homework, so they must know that there is some demand out there for some single coils in their guitars, in the neck and in the middle pickup, and in the middle position. So yeah, somebody out there must want them, or they wouldn't have produced them in the first place. Let's talk about the headstock on this guitar, because last year when they released the Japanese guitars, they were all reversed headstocks. In fact, last year there were so many Jackson guitar players in 2021 that were actually demanding, where are the reverse headstocks? We don't see enough of them. And then last year Jackson gave us tons of reverse headstocks, and now I suddenly went from wanting reverse headstocks to feeling like there was a hell of a lot of them, almost too much of them, that this year they've gone back to the standard Jackson headstock the right way around, and I'm quite happy about that. I think that's a really good move. The inlays, however, have been flipped. The sharkfin inlays, the Jackson iconic inlays, for me, have been flipped and spun, and they kind of go in the wrong direction. I don't know whether they needed to do that, but what Jackson have said is that they wanted, to the eye, just by glimpsing at a guitar, to be able to tell the difference between an American series and all the other series. So they flipped the sharkfin inlays to make it obvious, so you knew straight away exactly what you were looking at and that you knew that it was an American series. The other thing we probably need to talk about is, like I said at the beginning of the video, when it said fast as and it showed you these guitars, I really thought, wow, what have they done? Have they brought a new neck shape out? You know, maybe it's thinner, flatter, something like that. It's not. It's a Jackson speed neck. It's the speed neck that's on virtually all Jacksons. So I found that a bit strange. You know, it's been around quite a long time. Now, one thing I will say about the Jackson speed neck is that depending on the model, you know, and also depending on where the guitar is actually produced, the speed neck does change somewhat. For instance, I have a Korean Jackson, which is my #1 Jackson right now. It's a dinky, and the neck is flatter than my other Jacksons, and the Mexican ones and the Indonesian ones. Also, if you have a neck through like a Soloist or a pointy like a Kelly or something like that, there is a bit more girth I mean, we're talking about minimal differences here, but you can feel it. There is a bit more girth to the neck on neck throughs than there is, say, on a dinky. But apart from that, it still is a Jackson speed neck. It's still called a Jackson speed neck despite a few variations. I did find it strange that they said fast as and it's just really the same dimensions as any other guitar and probably will play just as fast as any of the other Jackson guitars out there. But this is the way that Jackson wanted to market it and get your attention, and it certainly did that. You know, everybody was tuned in. A couple of days later there was Scott Ian and a few other guys, you know, Brandon Ellis, a few other guys all talking and playing the guitar, and all sat with one on their knee. Like I said, if I was going to lean towards one, it would probably be the slime green satin one because I like a satin finish. Don't like the gloss on the back of the neck. These are made in the Corona factory in California. What do you guys think to this? I'm hoping that they bring out some more shapes, some more models, some more things available in the American series. Hopefully they will. Definitely I hope they bring out, you know, a new pickup configuration for them. Definitely a HH. If these had have been brought out in a dual humbucker model, I probably would have been thinking, how can I get this cash together to buy one of these, just because everyone keeps telling me I need to own an American Jackson. I don't know whether I'm going to get one of these for demo on the channel or not. I will chase this up for you guys. I will put myself in the mix to see if they will send one out for demo purposes so I can show you guys it, and hopefully I'll get the slime green one, but we'll see how it goes. At the moment there's limited stock on just about everything due to COVID and production lines and stuff like that. That's why you're not seeing as much gear flooding onto my channel. I'm still also waiting for an EVH Iconic. I've just emailed this morning. I have an EVH Iconic Facebook group that is down there in the description. I'm probably the only guy in there without an EVH Iconic. I'm still waiting on mine. I don't know what's happened, but I have emailed EVH today to ask them if mine is in stock yet. Please do not leave this video without commenting below what you think of the Jackson American series. Do you think it's value for money? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you hope there's more body shapes and more pickup configurations, things like that available? Maybe some fixed bridge guitars as well. What do you think about the whole idea? Are you happy about it? Let me know down there in the comments below. And for all things Jackson and EVH and PV and probably anything else that you see behind me here, I will see you guys very soon. There is some demo gear in the post right now. It's coming to the channel. Things are starting to pick up again. You will see more videos, more content and more new gear on the channel.